In this video, entitled mom tries to take my mask to give to her son. Karen wants a refund for her multi-thousand-dollar move because she doesn't want to pay taxes. And I called my patient's mistress, but I was just doing what I was told. Entitled mom tries to take my mask to give to her son. Today, I went to an Asian grocery store that I go to often to pick up a few things. I'm wearing gym clothes, a hat, and a 7 Lions mask. I go into the store to pick up some tea and look to see if they have a sauce that I've been looking for. As I'm browsing the shelves, enters this little brat, LB, who's about 10 years old. LB, excuse me, sir, that's a cool mask you have on. Me, thanks, buddy, the one you have is pretty cool too. LB, can I see it? Me, sure thing, man. I turn to face him. LB, no, I meant, can I hold it? The design looks really cool. We're in the middle of a pandemic, so I thought maybe this kid is unaware that most people are supposed to be social distancing, and letting him hold my mask could get him and me sick. So I do my best to explain to him. Me, sorry kiddo, I can't do that because I don't want to spread my germs to you and get you sick, especially with coronavirus going around. The kid's face turns a bit red, and he turns around and says, whatever, as he stomps off. I kind of just shrug and continue looking for what I'm looking for, thinking that was that, but man, was I wrong. Small backstory before we continue, I'm a raver and have been going to large music festivals for the past 4 to 5 years. I have a lot of masks that I've collected from virtually every festival, plus I have ones that represent my favorite DJs and artists. Since mask wearing became a thing, the pandemic, I finally get to wear these masks in public. I was actually excited. I often get questions and compliments from strangers like, cool mask, or if I'm wearing my EDC one, for example, what's EDC? And I would explain to them what it is or who the artist is and try to expose them to the EDM/rave scene. Most people just like the designs of the mask, so these questions were kind of normal to me at this point. Anyways, back to the story. I'm continuing my search for this sauce I'm looking for, and I see this lady, entitled mother, walking down the aisle from the corner of my eye. EM. Hey, that's a nice mask you got there. Me, thinking nothing of it, just turned to her making eye contact to be polite. Me. Thanks. This woman had to be in her late 30s and short. I'm not that tall. I'm average height, maybe 5'8", but she was definitely like 5'1" or 5'2". I see little brat behind her too, and I have a feeling this is her mother. At this point, I'm not sure of what she wants. EM. So, is there any chance you can let my son hold your mask? He said you were rude to him about it. All he wanted to do was touch it. I'm kind of shocked at this. Like, what the fuck is going on? Is this really happening right now? Me. No, ma'am. I don't think I was being rude to your son, explaining that he can't hold my mask because I don't want to spread my germs to him, and we're in the middle of a pandemic, you know. EM. Well, this whole thing is a farce, and COVID isn't even real, so take the mask off and let my son hold it. Mind you, her and her son are also both wearing masks themselves, so I sigh as I'm tired from my workout and just want to get the things that I need and go home. Me. Look, I'm not taking my mask off, and I'm not letting your son hold it either. EM. Fine. I'll buy it from you. I'll give you $5 for it. Me, sorry, not for sale. They don't sell these anymore, and these were sold for more than $5. EM, that's stupid. Who would spend $5 on a mask? Just let my son hold your mask. You don't need it anyways. COVID isn't real. Me, I already said no, lady. Now just leave me alone. I turn to walk away, heading to go check out, and I hear the little brat chime in at this point. LB, Mom, I want that mask so bad. Can you please get me one? EM, I'm trying to, sweetie, but this asshole won't let me buy it. I stop and turn around again. Me, so I'm the asshole? I'm not the one harassing people because you have a spoiled brat due to your bad parenting. If anything, you two are being assholes. I see this woman's face turn red, and she marches up to me and reaches out and tries to rip my mask off my face. I block and smack her hand/arm away from my face really hard. I know, and I've been practicing martial arts since I was a kid. Me. What the fuck are you doing? Try that again and I'll use force to stop you, I say in a very commanding voice. At this point, people are coming over the aisle to see what's going on. EM, you assaulted me. Somebody call the police. She shrieks out. Me, what? You tried to grab at my face to take my mask for your stupid son. I told you to leave me alone. EM, give me the mask or I'll press charges. You don't need the mask anyways. At this point, the manager/owner of the store steps in. She had been standing there and watching this happen the whole time from the monitor. Owner, all right, that's enough. Ma'am, you and your son need to leave. EM, he assaulted me. He should be leaving and you should be calling the cops. Owner, no, I've watched you harass this young man this whole time. Now leave. EM, no, I didn't do anything wrong. He hit my arm. I'm going to call the cops, get him arrested, and this store closed down because you chinks are so unsanitary. Mine, the owner's, and many customers' eyes widen. We're both Asian and most of the customers are Asian. The owner pulls her phone out and takes the woman's picture. EM gets even angrier when she realizes what the owner did. EM, I didn't give you permission to do that. Delete it right now or I will really call the police and have you both arrested. Owner, go ahead and call the police. I'll show them the CCTV cameras, and there are plenty of witnesses around to defend this young man. You were harassing him. You tried to take his mask off of his face. If anything, you will go to jail. Want to try your luck? EM stops and goes silent, now noticing the crowd in and around the aisle. She grabs her son by the arm and starts walking towards the door. EM, let's go, sweetie. I'm telling the health department about this shithole, and you'll be out of business by next week. Owner, don't come back. You're banned from this store. The owner shouts out as she walks out and leaves. I thank the owner for helping me out there. She offers to give me the items I have in my hands for free, but I decline. I'd rather support her business and buy them, especially since she stood up for me. Nothing happened after that, no cops came, and everything was back to normal. I check out after finding the sauce I was looking for and left to go home. Karen wants a refund for her multi-$1,000 move because she doesn't want to pay taxes. I work for a moving company that also offers storage services as well, and no, it's probably not the one you're thinking of. This company has an international presence and covers most of the US as well. I specifically work in the claims and disputes department, far enough up the food chain that if you're talking to me, you're most likely going to have a bad day by the time we're through. Roughly 90% of the customers I deal with have their cases sent to me because they're terrorizing the people that work on my team. The remaining 10% either have unique and challenging problems, or one of the other claims agents finally snapped, leaving me a mess to clean up. So, July of 2020, in the middle of our busiest summer ever, this case comes across my desk because 1, the agent it was assigned to had no idea how to handle it, and 2, this woman was your atypical Karen. It was a pricing dispute, typically our most common issue next to scheduling disputes because people don't think about the logistics of moving a 2,000 plus square foot house across the country. Now, normally for things that make it to my desk, I take the time to read through all of the agent notes to see what they found or seen on the account, as well as what communications they've had with the customer before I reach out to them or do my own investigation. But because of the literal flood of people, therefore a flood of new cases coming in every day, instead of the normal 2-week turnaround time for case resolution, it was taking 2 weeks for initial contact from an agent, let alone a resolution after the investigation. Being as swamped as we were, I was calling people on my list going from oldest incident forward, trying to reach a resolution on my initial contact call because I had literally hundreds of new cases a day, which meant I was giving people money I would normally not give away. Normally, I would do a proper investigation and more than half of the people I talk with get their claim denied. So I call this Karen about her pricing dispute that got forwarded to me 2.5 weeks prior. I see on her account that she had been calling our regular customer service line daily demanding to speak to the CEO or CFO of the company. Why they think they'll actually get them is still a mystery to me. I also see from the agent's notes that she's claiming there's a difference on the price from what the document we sent to her was and what was being billed. Odd, but not impossible. Errors happen. But when the agent couldn't resolve her issue immediately the exact way she wanted, out came the obscenities and demands to speak to their manager's manager. Joy, as if my day wasn't hard enough already. She picks up her phone. Karen, hello? Me. Hi, is Karen available? Karen, speaking. Me. Hi, this is me with X Moving Company calling you on a monitored and recorded line about insert reference number here for your billing. Karen, oh my fucking god, it's about time you called me. You guys are so incompetent. Literally, all you do is steal people's money. My god, I was about to file a complaint with the BBB. Me. My apologies. Unfortunately, due to current events, there has been an unprecedented number of people moving, which has caused delays in every department, which is why I'm calling you today. I see that you've spoken to, insert other agent's name here, and you weren't able to reach a resolution, so this was escalated to me. I'm reaching out so we can try to get a resolution on this matter as soon as possible. Karen. Oh, good. Finally, someone with some sense in your company. So you're calling to credit me back for everything I've spent with your company? Me stopping dead, hoping I hear her wrong. Excuse me? Karen, That's what my dispute was for. Everything I've spent with your company for the last 3 years. I was originally going to do it with my bank, but my banker explained that a claim that large would mean having to close out then reopen my entire account, and it would be so much easier if I handled it through your company since you were the one billing me. I'm floored by this, because this woman stored with us for almost 3 years before having all of her stuff shipped almost 4,000 miles away from her starting area. We're talking billing in the range of about $15,000. We're definitely not one of the cheap services in this field, and people usually pay the extra because of the reputation we have. No, I'm calling you about the specifics of your dispute. I see you didn't give them to the customer service agent when you spoke to them or the other claims agent. What part of this isn't correct? Because from what we can see, all of your billing matches up with the order documents we've been sending to your online account like you requested. You know when people talk about someone going from 0 to 60 at the drop of a pin? Yeah, she got on her high horse and did 0 to 120 in half that time. I legitimately had to take my headset off, holding it at arm's length, and I could still hear her screaming every obscenity in the book at me. One of the perks of working from home is that now I won't have to live down the ribbing my team would have given me if this had happened in the office. After several minutes of this, she seemed to run out of breath or hot air, and I was able to finally get a word in edgewise. Ma'am, it's my job to find the discrepancy in the billing and the documents provided to you, and if there is a discrepancy in your favor, then we'll credit you back for it. Now, which part of this are you showing a different amount charged versus what shows on your bill? This starts her in on another tirade, albeit a much shorter one where she throws a mess of numbers at me, which is rather confusing to me as I'm not seeing any of the numbers she's giving me on her account before it clicks. Is the difference you're seeing on the long distance move this dollar amount? Karen, that's what I've been saying. God, you people need to learn how to listen. And is the difference you're seeing on these charges this? Karen, yes. Oh, I see what the problem is. The document you've been referring to must be a quote because the difference in all of your billing is the taxes. You see, quotes don't include the taxes. If you look at the top of the quote, it says that in bold. Karen, so credit me back the taxes. You never said how much they were or that you were taking them. I apologize, but I can't do that. When you booked your order, the official document with all taxes, fees, and discounts was presented to you at that time. You've been charged the correct amount. Karen, then get me someone who can because I want my money back. You guys are nothing but a bunch of insert racial slur and thieves. Ma'am, there's no need for the kind of language you've been using on this call. Now, I regret to inform you of this, but nobody in this company can issue you a refund for this matter, as it's not a company policy or charge, but rather charges that originate at the state and federal levels. I hate paying taxes as much as the next person does, but if you have issues with those charges, it's something I recommend you reach out to your state senator and discuss with them. Karen, that's unacceptable and unprofessional. I demand to speak to your manager. Yeah, that's not gonna happen. See, I'm the highest level person in this company that talks to customers, period. Full stop. There are exactly 4 people in this company that are above me. None of them talk to customers, ever. And I have final say on any account or dispute in the company that gets escalated. Basically, I'm the manager you've been asking for, and I'm telling you no. We will not be issuing a refund on your account. Karen, this is unacceptable. I'm gonna write bad reviews for your company everywhere and report you to the BBB. Go ahead, but so you know, any dispute filed to the BBB or social media case opened about this will come across my desk in about 2 weeks, as I'm the one closing this dispute and we both know exactly how far that will get you. In addition, since all of our calls are recorded, any bad mouthing you do on social media can and will be removed, as there's proof we've been more than accommodating with you in your frivolous demands. Karen, fine, I'm just gonna dispute everything with my bank. They'll stand with me. They've been my bank for years. Best of luck with that and have a nice day. Karen hangs up, and I get busy noting everything about our exchange on her account as well as her dispute, close her dispute as denied, then send emails to her accounting department and social media departments flagging her name and account, listing the details of what happened. Now, this wouldn't be a satisfying story without the follow-up I got later. After my lovely conversation with this Karen in July, in early September, I got an email from our accounting department with a note saying she tried disputing it with her bank, and when they'd reached out to us about the matter, We provided them with all of the documentation for her billing, including the quote she had based everything off of that had the disclaimer about taxes in bold on top. Needless to say, she didn't win that, so all of her accounts had to be closed and reopened for what amounted to a slap in the face. But wait, it gets better. Later that month, I got an email from my social media team. She had tried filing a complaint with the BBB, which was dismissed when we sent them a transcript of her call with me. Then she tried bashing the company on social media, which was also very short-lived, as the social media team responded to her saying something along the lines that taxes weren't something to make numerous racial slurs about an individual for. They sent me a screenshot of the responses other people were making on her post that were just tearing her a new one before she eventually deleted it. Haven't heard anything else about this Karen, but with her antics across multiple departments, she did get blacklisted by our company, so I'm happy in the thought that I'll never have to deal with this particular woman ever again. I called my patient's mistress, but I was just doing what I was told. This happened back in 2009. I was working part-time at a doctor's office while I was in nursing school. I was one of the receptionists and did all the filing and cataloging and such. It was boring work, but the doctor, my boss, guaranteed me a job after nursing school, so that's why I did it. This particular doctor was an orthopedic surgeon. We had lots of patients coming in for MRIs, CT scans, and x-rays. This one particular patient, Frank, was scheduled to have surgery in a couple of days, and he needed to come and pick up his MRIs and x-rays from our office and bring them with him to his procedure. Yes, looking back at how ass-backwards things used to be is so frustrating. All these things are 100% electronic now, and even back then, they were too, but my boss was old school. So anyway, I called Frank to tell him to come pick up his images, but he didn't answer. I called him again during lunch, but still no answer. So I left him a message. The following day, I called him again, but still no answer. It was imperative that Frank got his images or else he wouldn't be able to have his surgery, so I looked in his file to see if he had any other contact information. He listed his home phone number as well as his wife's cell. I called his house and left a message, and I also called his wife, Amy, but she didn't answer either, so I left her a message as well. The office manager, Diane, told me to just call whoever was listed in his emergency contacts because if Frank didn't get his images and missed his surgery, then she would have to do a whole new stack of paperwork to reschedule him, and she didn't want to be bothered. I looked to see if there was an emergency contact, and Frank listed a woman named Helen, relation to patient, girlfriend. I told Diane I didn't want to call Helen when I'd already left a message for Amy, as it would have put me in an awkward position. Diane said that as long as the patient listed them as an emergency contact, I could call them. She also said that it's not uncommon for couples to be separated but still legally married for insurance reasons, and that this could possibly be the case for Frank and Amy, which I guess made sense. I really wanted to believe that no one would be stupid enough to put their secret lover as their emergency contact. I didn't want to get fired for being insubordinate, so I called Helen and she actually answered her phone. I was secretly hoping she wouldn't, and I told her Frank's images needed to be picked up before his surgery. She came by during lunch, got the images, and then left. I immediately called Frank again to let him know that Helen picked up his images and to not worry about it, but this fool wasn't answering his phone, so I left him another message. A couple of hours later, Amy called back and said that she wasn't able to answer before because she was teaching, but she got our message and was coming to pick up Frank's images now that school was done for the day. I told her that the images had already been picked up. I tried to be as vague as possible. Amy, who picked them up? I know Frank is still busy at his office and hasn't had the chance to come get them. Me, again, trying really hard to be vague. We called someone from his emergency contact list. Amy, was it his brother, Steve? Me, at this point, I'm really nervous. No, not his brother. Amy, well then who? Me, Helen. Amy, who's Helen? I don't know anyone named Helen. Me, I'm not sure, but since she was on Frank's emergency contact list and no one else was answering their phone, we called her and she already came and got the images. Confused, Amy hung up. The following day was Frank's surgery. The day after Frank's surgery, my boss jokingly asked me, "What the hell did you do to that guy?" He came in all pissed at me saying that my secretary told his wife about his other girlfriend. I told my boss what happened and that Diane told me to call the girlfriend, and he understood. Diane tried to throw me under the bus by saying I didn't tell her that Helen was Frank's girlfriend and that I had told her Helen was just a friend, and that she never would have given me the green light to call a patient's mistress. But I reminded her in front of my boss that she had said it was possible for Frank and Amy to be married, but still separated. This bitch was trying to cover her ass because she probably thought it was some kind of HIPAA violation. I was 18 years old at the time and just did whatever my superiors told me because I was really thirsty for job security after college, but I ended up not working there and went to work at a hospital instead.